If you want an old tyrannical dictatorship, sociopathic false government that enslaves people to fall and be dismantled, you need to hit them where it hurts, which is financially. Tax strike 2026. Taxes are literally voluntary. And this has been coming out for years. I am strongly encouraging all of you to jump on the tax strike of 2026 and destroy the United States and hit them where they need to be hit. And everybody in this country can join together in 2026 and not one goddamn person pay their taxes, their income taxes this year. Because if millions of us do that, guess what? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, United States government. Once the U.S. as we know it crumbles and falls and shatters to the ground, because I do see the end of the United States coming. And that is exciting. The fall of the U.S. isn't bad. I'm excited for it. I hope it happens tomorrow because we have new things in place. We have new leadership. We have the framework and the methods to create a harmonious, loving world that benefits everybody. We don't have to wait for anything. We don't have to wait for anything. We could just choose to do it right now. We could just choose to do it. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, revolutionaries. Rachel Fiori here. Yes, revolutionaries, because we need a revolution, and I need you to light a fire under your asses so that we can put an end to everything that is going on in the world and in the country of the United States of America, because enough is enough. I want to talk to you all about Sasha Riley, and I have no idea how long this video will stay up. So I'm going to ask you right now, before we even get started, like it, make sure you subscribe and share this out. Please remember to do that. I'm also going to invite you from your heart center, and with a warning, but it's needed. So buck up, get the courage, become the revolutionary that you came here to become. And I'm going to invite you to go down the rabbit hole of Sasha Riley and all the audio that has come out with his reportings, what he shared of his experiences when he was a child from approximately, according to him, all allegedly, of course, but fuck that. What he's reporting and what he's sharing with the world is approximately around the ages of 8 to around 13. He was trafficked, sex trafficked, had an adoptive father, and was trafficked to the elites. Trump is one of them that raped him, and that he witnessed torturing and murdering puppies. This little boy was a part of child porn for the elites, including snuff films where they shot and killed little girls in the film. He's coming forward and he's sharing his experiences and he's listing names. So he's a decorated veteran, supposedly. So I encourage you to go down this rabbit hole, do your own research, listen without children or anybody vulnerable around who could overhear what it is that you're investigating and listening to. Definitely not for children's ears, just so you know. So I don't need to hash out or go through his testimony, his report. You could go do that research on your own. Um, but this is an exposure of, you know, why the Epstein files and why the majority of, like 99% of them, are not being released, and why there's distractions with ICE and terrorism in our country, in America, because those extreme distractions, so that we can fight over that, because they're creating a serious problem in this country. And I'll do another episode on the fact that our government, we are being run by terrorists. There are terrorists running this fucking country and all over the world. Then they claim that just civilians of this country are the terrorists. Talk about the sociopathic, inverted, narcissistic gaslighting script that they brainwash people with. Okay. But that is a distraction. It's a violent tactic, in order to make sure we don't find out the actual truth of the darkest of the dark of what's in the Epstein files. So when you're distracted by civilians being terrorized and beaten up and murdered, shot in the face 3 times for driving a car and just saying, "I'm not mad at you," and trying to drive away from the scary fucking men that women are always taught, never allow yourself to be taken by a man, because this is a sadistic, fucked up, misogynistic, violent world that women live in. We're taught from little girls, don't let them take you to the second location. Get out, run, don't go with them. Literally ingrained into women, into little girls. And so when you have scary men whose egos are cracked and crushed because there's a woman who's not afraid of you and just going to go on her merry way and fucking ignore you, that lets you know the misogynistic narcissism and psychopathy of what patriarchy has brainwashed and turned men and people into. That your ego's crushed because your domineering, abusive ways are being ignored and dismissed by a woman, and you're going to shoot her in the face 3 times, calling her a fucking bitch. Okay. And as horrific as all of that is, here's what's so disgusting and at a level of, I mean, this is Nazi America now. I mean, this is at a level where that type of thing, people being snatched off the street, shot, killed, because it's not like Renee Good was the first victim of this. There are many more victims in the last several months, in 2025 into 2026, that have been murdered in cold blood, brutalized, beaten. And these are the terrorists that are in this country now, put there by our government, put there by this sadist, psychopathic lunatic who, Trump, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, who is using all of this as a distraction so that the rest of the Epstein files and what's really the worst of them are not released and put out to the general public. I wonder why. I wonder why, when we see, because we already know Trump, proven fact, and he's already found guilty of sexual assault, of rape. He rapes women. He has a long history of raping little girls. We already know he has a history with Epstein and being on Epstein Island and young little girls, underage girls. If that isn't bad enough, so he doesn't just rape women and little girls. We now see what's come forth and what's being reported. He rapes little boys as well. He tortures and murders puppies. And from this person's experience when he was a young boy, Sasha Riley, Trump was the leader and Epstein was more of the manager. So supposedly, allegedly, he's not just a client pedophile. He's a ringleader of it. Okay. And all of these things are, well, maybe not all of them, but these alleged acts, let's put it that way, are filmed. I mean, there's evidence of it all. So, torturing and murdering puppies and animals for the fun of it. That's Trump, allegedly. Raping not just little girls, little boys. And being a part of a ring that's not just child pornography, but the type of pornography that are snuff films, which means children get murdered. Little girls were killed in these films. And that's the stuff that's coming out now. And I mean, there are just moments where I am just, and I'm speechless and I am in shock that this is the actual world that we fucking live in. That these are the people that are in the governments across the world globally. It isn't just this country. And by the way, if you're dumb enough to continue to think that this has anything to do with Democrats versus Republicans, your level of fucking ignorance is part of the fucking problem. This has not, they're all the same team. They're all on the same side. Part of the brainwashing is division. So that you'll pick a side like red versus blue because you're dumb enough to do that. When you have a sadistic maniac, genocidal maniac leading a country, you're allowing that to happen when you're like, well, if you were just Democrat, you're just as bad as the America fucking MAGA fucktards. They're all the same team. You don't think, are you dumb enough to believe that there are not Democrats on Epstein's list and part of that whole ring, that pedophile ring, rape, torture, murder? Like, come on, people. What? I mean, come on. Our own government is doing what with all of this? Defending, hiding, blatantly lying, gaslighting the entire world and the American people. And you just sit idly by like any of them are doing a good job about anything? How is this sociopath that was already a rapist and a 34-time convicted felon that you all, whoever you are, the ones that wanted this fucking maniac to lead a country, things are so much worse. Where's the fucking line? Where's the line? You can buy and wear all the t-shirts you want to. Fuck ICE. Fuck Trump in whatever ways those t-shirts say. And I'm not mocking you. I'm not saying don't do those things. Saying go, you can do that. And in a certain sense, those are smaller degrees of, doing something, taking action, at least in some form. I support those things 100%. Do your rallies, go to your protests, do your marches, buy your t-shirts, wear them in public. Come out of your houses and shame and protest and tell ICE to get the fuck out. But if we are going to continue to allow a sadistic fucking maniac to continue to be a leader of anything instead of being locked away in a mental institution behind bars for the rest of his natural life, what are we fucking doing? What are we doing? It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. Living in this country right now is shameful and embarrassing. We should have zero tolerance for what the fuck is going on. And it's time to rise. And not sit around and bitching and complaining and living in fear and being negative and not alchemizing the anger and the rage that comes up and is going to flow through. It's time to do more. It's time to do more. And we have resources to do more. And it is actually time to stand up and command that more be done through our governors, our mayors. It's time to actually take that action. And I've already done, podcast episodes on that. I've already released things that you can do. You can go to coalitionofoneness.org. So hopefully by the time this is out and released, this episode is released, one of the things we're working on is a template and templates that you can just copy and paste and put in your governor, the representatives of your state, and you can email a template. We'll tell you what to say. You can adapt it to anything you want to, of course. But if you want us to make it easier for you, we have. So we're working on that right now as I'm recording this. Hopefully by the time this is released, it'll be up on our website. You can just copy and paste and put in your governor, your representative, your mayor, whoever you're going to send that to. Snail mail, email, share it with everyone you know, and tell them to do the same. That's one thing that you can do, and you can take action. You can do that right now, this damn minute. You can do it every single day over and over and over again. You can share that with everybody you know and have them do it every single day over and over and over again. You can join coalitionofoneness.org. It's time for us to rise and actually get this stuff done, because this is unacceptable. Nazi America is unacceptable. The fact that we are here dealing with this level of violence and sadism and psychopathy and sociopathic natures of the misleaders of the world and in this country, you have to wake the fuck up for real and not be stupid enough to think that this is red versus blue, that the Democrat, where's the governor? If you want to try to pretend like this is all MAGA and all Republicans, what are the Democrats doing? You don't think they're not on the list? Many of them? Hello. They're all the same fucking side. Why are they allowing a sociopath to remain in power and in control? How deep does it go? So if you still think this is as simple as like Democrat versus Republican, that level of stupidity, we're done with it. We're just done. You have to fucking use a couple more of your brain cells at this stage of the game, because people are dying. Civilians are being murdered in the streets. The Fourth Amendment has been completely erased and eradicated. It's just ignored, like it doesn't exist, like it never existed. Raids and searches and trying to enter people's private homes without warrants. People are literally being snatched off the street. Hello, history. Look at the history books. It's fucking Nazi Germany all over again. This is Nazi America. And any of you who are still going to sit on your asses and not do anything or sit there in fear, get out of your fear. Alchemize that crap. It's time to rise for real. This is real. This is actually happening. And it isn't only in one country. Genocide has been happening. Bombings, murdering, genocidal maniacs are across the globe. And what is anybody doing to end the governments that function in this way? They're all part of the same pedophile murder rings. They're sadistic. Like, you need to wake up to what this really is. And why does it have to get so bad before people wake the fuck up for real and take action and do something about it? You have little dick syndrome terrorists dressed up in their Halloween costumes, covered their faces with masks, that are allowed to just do whatever the fuck they want to whoever they want to do it to. Where are the children in the detention centers? Where'd they go? Nobody gives a fuck that women are raped in there. Nobody fucking cares about women in a patriarchal world that's run by sadists, rapists, torturers, murderers, terrorists. And they come out and gaslight you and tell you, we're picking up the terrorists. 34-time fucking convicted felon and convicted rapist. And you're telling me that someone on the street that they pick up in California is the terrorist or is the criminal. Are you fucking stupid? This is the level of stupidity that we're dealing with. When are we going to put an end to it? So here's what I propose. I propose people rally up, find your goddamn courage, stop being cowards, and you take action. Everybody's going to take action at different levels. There's nothing wrong with that. Send the emails, make the phone calls, write the letters, send the snail mail to your state representatives, especially the governors, and demand that ICE be removed from that state. Demand that this government be completely removed. We need to revamp the whole thing. Demand that your state become its own sovereign country. This is what we're doing here in California. And we need a lot more people to rise and make that happen. There are way more of us than there are of them. Do you understand that part of brainwashing, mind control, is fear-based mind control? What other actions can you take? Nobody pay your fucking taxes this year in 2026. The fuck would you be paying for this for? You're funding them to do this. Their salaries come from your taxes. Why are you paying them to continue to terrorize us? They're the terrorists. It's time to put an end to it. Don't pay taxes this year. Defund our government, because it isn't a fucking government. It's a bunch of sociopathic, genocidal maniacs who rape and torture and murder innocent beings for fun. This is who's quote unquote leading you. And you want to debate like it's politics. If you're that dumb, this is way bigger than anything of what quote unquote politics even means. This is a sadistic, sociopathic ruling class that gets off on raping, torturing, murdering. That's who's running this country and others. And you want to act like it's red versus blue? We just have different opinion in politics. If you're that dumb, you deserve to be sent away with them when we get rid of them. Because the lack of willingness to rise and stand up and do something. Why do millions and millions of people have to be murdered, have to die, in order for anybody to actually get up and finally fucking do something big enough to end it all? It doesn't have to be that way. Get out of the cowardice, get out of the fear. We can make all this happen, but we have to work together to do it. Okay. We've had on the podcast before, Marcus Evans, leader of the Cal Exit movement. Go check out his website, by the way. I'm in full support of that, 100% full support of the Cal Exit. And I'll put this at the bottom of my screen here for those of you watching. calexitnow.org is their website. So they are also a group of people moving California into it being its own country, separated from the United States of terrorism. I mean, this is Nazi America. So we want to separate from Nazi America. And you do not have to be from California to help make this happen, by the way. You can join us. The more of us that rally together to make this happen so that we can be our own sovereign nation and we can change everything, all of the type of leadership that allows sadistic, violent, malignant narcissistic, misogynistic psychopaths to have power, any kind of authority or power over any being, instead of being locked away for the rest of their lives in prison or in a mental institution or a combination of both. Because that's where these fucking psychopaths belong. They're sadistic, torturing motherfuckers. They're pure evil. And they need to be removed from the world and put away. They can have their, you know what, they can have their own fucking Epstein Island, as long as it's completely just them murdering and killing themselves. I'm for that. They can go do that if they want. Never allowed to leave. Nobody can come and go there. I'd be all for that, giving them their own fucking island and do whatever they want to each other. We need to unplug from evil and violence and form our own country, and we can start with California. I believe that there is a very strong possibility that the United States is going to completely fucking crumble and end up being like 4 different countries, to be perfectly honest. I think there's a very strong possibility of that. I've mentioned that before, and I'm all for that. Here's the truth. The truth is, why are we paying sadistic lunatics who murder, torture, and do all these evil things and do whatever the fuck they want? Why are we paying them? There should be no payment to them ever at all, starting right now in 2026. None. Why are we even calling borders when we should all, as sentient beings, move across the whole world freely? The way birds fly, the way whales migrate, the way animals move. And by the way, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with saying, hey, this is a territory over here, so I'm allowed to have my own, area and my own territory, my own land that temporarily from Mother Earth, I'm borrowing. I'm going to live on this. And we also have the right to privacy. Okay, this is how you start to live in oneness. You can have quantum superposition. 2 truths can be present at the same time. You can have no borders, and you can also have borders all at the same time. Anybody going to write your stupid fuck comments? It just shows what a fuck. Let me save you the embarrassment. If you're not intelligent enough, you're not educated enough, shut the fuck up and learn. In oneness, you can have 2 truths present at the same time. You can move freely around the world, and you can also still have borders. You can also still have, hey, this land is mine. I am temporarily, renting or purchase this land from Mother Earth herself, not from some sadistic fucking billionaire who rapes and tortures children and animals for fun. It's from Mother Earth. This is Mother Earth's body. You have a right to have an area, for example, that you've purchased, that you're allowed to have privacy there and not have random fucking people all over the place on top of you. Do you understand? It's okay to have things set up like, hey, this is our land over here. This is my house with 10 acres. I think countries, we don't fucking need a bunch of different types of countries. And at the same time, there's nothing wrong with having them. You got to call things something. Where are you going to travel to? Where are you going to meet? Where's this geographic location? Well, this one's in Italy, and this one's in a Republic of Oneness. That's our new country, what used to be California. So there isn't anything wrong with having borders and countries and names and labels and saying this one has this strong culture in this country and this one has that strong culture. This was a whole mix of diverse cultures all over the place all at one time. There's nothing wrong with any of that. That isn't negative. And simultaneously, it isn't that because you're over there or you look different or you sound different, you cannot come over here. That's the psychopathy that needs to end. That's patriarchy, owning, dominating, controlling, establishing their dominance and hierarchy of inequality. Do you see it? So in a new nation, in a new republic of oneness, that's the name of our new country that we're creating over here. We can have our own quote unquote culture, which is a very diverse, culture, because it already is over here in California, by the way. A lot of different cultures, a tremendous amount of diversity over here in this state, which I now call our own country of oneness. A lot of diversity. It's one of the things I love about this place over here. But it also means we can have that, and that can be our quote unquote culture, but we're establishing a deeper culture, a more elevated culture of consciousness. And that is a consciousness of oneness based on the universal ways of oneness. That our schools, our universities will carry over the framework of what the 20 ways of oneness are. Because that's what's missing from the fucking planet is unconditional love, its presence, its truth, instead of this narcissistic, lying, gaslighting bullshit, brainwashing, mind control crap. It's selfless service with everyone. It's establishing smaller communities within a large community where we focus on, technology, where free energy is in existence. Then we use that type of technology, regenerative farming on a smaller scale. And we have more people in community working together so that you don't have to, ship food from thousands upon thousands of miles away. We can function in a very different way, and we can be the leaders and the role models to have this happen. We already have the technology. We already have people who are geniuses in their fields that can come together. We don't need people to uphold a sick care system. Stop paying. Everyone stop with the fucking health insurance shit. Half of what was covered for you anyway has been taken away. What are we doing? We can establish healthcare systems that are actually based on health and wellness, thriving, actual healing. That's what a Republic of Oneness is all about. That's what beings of oneness consciousness are all about. It's not just about removing the prejudices or the sexism and misogyny and the racism. That's one part, as prevalent as that is across the world. It's still only one piece of the puzzle of oneness. Do you understand? So when we have these horrifying things come to light, like what a victim like Sasha Riley is bringing forth, what hundreds and what thousands of victims of satanic ritualistic abuse of these elite sadistic sociopaths do in the fucking world, all over the world, royalty, governments, higher up in government positions, in the military, everywhere all over the world, these lunatics are doing what continues to be reported. Hollywood. You think P. Diddy was bad? Like that's like a lower level thug compared to what these elitists are doing. And you saw how sadistic and horrifying all of that was. And this is all over. This is the world we live in. Wake up call. It's time to face the fucking music here. See it for what it is and realize there's more of us than them. Because there are literally billions of us, maybe thousands of them. Who the fuck do you think would win if we came together the way we are supposed to come together? We hold the power. Do what needs to be done. Do what needs to be done. And the time is now. This can't get worse before people decide to move and take action. And no matter what, you have to make the choice to alchemize your fear and stop living in fucking fear of what might happen to me. The fucking worst has already happened. Guess what? Guess what? What happened to all these victims, that's not going to happen to you. What happened to an 8-year-old, 10-year-old child being raped, tortured, and then shot in the head? We need to fight and stand for them. This is inexcusable. And it's a choice that we all have to make to come together to put an end to this type of existence on this fucking planet. Everywhere. No matter where you live, no matter what country you live in, no matter what state you live in. Right? So I come from a place where I'm not here to call upon just Californians in the state of California in the United States of America. I'm not calling just on them. I'm calling everyone in the world. Because it's time that we take action and create something new. You know why? You create something new that has nothing to do with the evil and the old, and then all of our focus goes to this. Now, how can we expand this? How can we spread that? How can you do the same thing over there? How can we then connect your country, our new country, a Republic of Oneness? How can we share the resources, the technology, the vision, what's working for us, the teachings of thriving as beings of oneness? How can we share with you over there how to heal the trauma of what everybody has been through? We all need to heal our trauma of all of this, but we need to create something new to go to that's safe while we do that. You can do both simultaneously. Okay, because real leaders don't just tell you what the fuck you want to hear. That brainwashing bullshit to temporarily comfort you so you can pretend like this shit isn't real and doesn't happen. That's part of the brainwashing. I don't do that. I'm here to tell you how it fucking is. That's the way of truth. But I can also tell you that what we teach in my metaphysical university, in my organization, Masters of Self University, what we teach is how to alchemize and heal all of it. How do we actually raise our level of consciousness? How do we come together and become the aspects, the frequencies of oneness consciousness, the 20 universal ways of oneness? How do we live as that? How do we create leadership, quote unquote, government? Just so you understand what I'm talking about, I will use that term. But we don't need government. But again, I'll use that term just so you understand what I'm saying here. How do we create a quote unquote government, a leadership, a sovereign country, sovereign leadership where we all work together, that we are looking out for all of us, that we are healing the trauma for all of us, that we are elevating out of our trauma, that we are elevating out of the level of consciousness that creates division and hate and violence. How do we heal all that and elevate out of that and create systems, school systems, universities that don't focus on sick care and brainwashing and indoctrination, that they are universities, that they are schools, that they are programs of oneness based on the framework and the 20 universal ways of oneness themselves. How do we become these people? These aren't these people that express this and live as this. These are not concepts. The old earth has everybody so fucking dumbed down. The truth, told truth. That's a concept. It isn't integrated, elevated consciousness exemplifying what that means in your everyday life, in your relationships, in your businesses. What does it even mean to be the way of wisdom when you go to work every day? And that's the thing. People don't fucking know. They don't live as these things. They don't live as enlightened frequencies and enlightened beings. You think an enlightened being is you're quiet and peaceful and never raise your voice, and never show any kind of passion or emotion of any kind. And you wear robes and sit on a fucking mountain and meditate for 19 hours a day. That's not fucking enlightenment. That's escapism. That's avoidance. That's spiritual bypassing. That isn't living what this life is meant to be lived. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with meditating, doing whatever the hell you want. You're not harming anybody by doing that. There's no judgment in it. But that isn't fucking enlightenment. Thinking that it is shows that you're brainwashed and mind controlled. Because an enlightened being is fully integrated into their human self and their human existence. They can live everyday life without hate, without rage, without violence. They know how to live in the moment where you're 1 minute teaching about enlightened frequencies and healing people and how to become this as the way of wisdom, as every way of oneness. And the next minute you're picking up your dog's shit in the yard and planting seeds in your garden. You allow yourself the freedom of passion and expression emotionally. You don't run and hide and act like you don't have any fucking emotions anymore. We're human. See, an enlightened being is integrated into their humanness. An enlightened being knows how to laugh and have fun and joke around. It's part of being human. It doesn't mean that ceases to exist because you're enlightened now. No more jokes. The fuck? Don't curse. That doesn't mean you're enlightened. Actually, some enlightened ones might use that very intentionally to prove to wake you the fuck up that certain people who don't say certain things on purpose are brainwashing you. They're wearing a mask. They're tricking you. Because while they won't say the word fuck out loud, they're fucking your little boy in the back of the church. Now, do you think you're ready to wake the fuck up to the truth of what's happening and what you think is highly conscious and enlightened? Spiritual intellectualization isn't fucking enlightenment. You being trapped in your mind isn't enlightenment. You sitting on your asses and doing nothing about the state of the world or the state of this country or the genocide in the world. You sitting around doing absolutely nothing isn't far from fucking enlightenment. And I am not judging or criticizing anybody when I say that. A lot of times people do nothing. They don't know what they can do. There's no blame here. I'm calling it out because you can do something now. And we're going to give you the minimum of what you can do. And I've already done it, not just in this, and I'm going to keep repeating it. Write the letters, send the emails, do the little things too. Buy the t-shirts, wear them out in public, go to the protests. When you see ICE cut, get outside and shame the fucking shit out of them and demand, but also join a coalition of oneness. Do you understand that's a bigger movement than what I think a lot of people can comprehend right now? Join a coalition of oneness. Heal yourself. Elevate yourself. Go become a student at Masters of Self University. You think that sounds silly? Go to our Discord channel. Check out what people are saying about it. How their lives are dramatically changing because of what they're learning there. We are here to elevate consciousness so that we together have the power to make big, massive changes on this planet. We have to make the change. You can't do it by staying the same. So there's a lot of things that you can do. A lot of things that you can do, but you have to start doing them. Sitting on your asses and doing nothing is unacceptable, and you're part of the damn problem. You're dead weight. that we are trying to move. Those of us who are taking action and doing things are trying to move. You're making it harder. Lighten the load by becoming a being of oneness yourself. Go to school, learn what this means, heal your trauma, write your representatives, email them, call them, leave messages, join a coalition of oneness. I just gave you a handful of things you could do fucking today. Could do all those things today. And a lot of those things, rinse and repeat, keep doing them, right? Okay. I want you to go down the rabbit hole. I invite you to go down the rabbit hole of not just Sasha Riley, but of all the victims. But because this person has specifically named who he's named, and Trump isn't the only one, it is worth discovering how horrific these things really are, the misleaders of the world. It's time to wake up for real on the reality of what's actually going on in the world and who's running it and who's ruling over all of us, and we're their slaves. It's time to rise up. Enough's enough. Wake up to the horrifying truth. The truth is not fucking pretty. There's nothing about awakening for real that is actually pretty pleasant, other than when you realize you can move through the horrifying truths with the truth and the power of what you are. Your divinity can purify anything. We just need to come together. There's more of us than them. And we're here to show you how. That's why we exist. It's literally why I am on this planet. It is why Masters of Self University exists. And it is why Coalition of Oneness.org exists. These two organizations exist in order for us to be the change, to fucking demolish the horror show that are the misleaders of this world. Time has come, and we are the ones. So, do your due diligence, do your part, rise up, revolutionaries. I know you have it in you. We're here to support you, guide you, join with you, partner with you, and assist you in this entire process of what we came here to do. We incarnated to do this together in oneness. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.